welcome back everybody. I am working on my binders that have all my organization pieces. So I am cutting out my vinyl that I want on the front, so give me a moment. And I'm going to go ahead and get that started. There we go. And I've already cut out several others so far. So I've got my Graceful Ease for my YouTube one, etc. So I am weeding those and getting those ready while this one is printing, or cutting out. And then I will go ahead and show you how I apply it to my binder to decorate everything. And this will take a moment because it does have a whole saying on it. We're getting closer. So to show you the rest of my setup, while I am weeding things, what I do is I remove the pieces of vinyl and I stick them to the underside of my counter, and then I'm able to work on the next piece, and then anything that I pull out of it I stick to the same surface. So it's nice to have these pieces that will stick to each other. So I have it facing sticky side out so that I can add to it as I go. And it actually goes pretty quickly. The one I'm doing right now is a foil, and it seems to weed really well. The other one that I have has a lot of little pieces in between all the letters, and I find that one takes a little longer to go ahead and weed out areas, just simply because I don't want to lose little things like periods on it. But these ones, I mean, as you can see, this is really simple to pull out. And there are a million different things you can use to weed the areas out that you don't want. And this is the one that my silhouette came with. It's just got like a little hook on it. And I use that. I've used a seam ripper, and actually I tend to like the seam ripper better. I've used the end of a paper clip, and like I say, they make many different options. But to show you, I will pull the pieces out that are like the center of an A or something of that nature. And of course, that's the first one I've had a problem with so far. So I pull it out, and I've got it right there on my thumb, which is hard to see. And I just stick it to the sticky piece and keep going. And like I say, I can get most of the foil ones done really quickly. They don't take much. It's these other ones that take a little longer. And I think sometimes what it comes down to is the size of your lettering as well. So this one's quite a bit larger. It's almost an inch on the letters. But these other ones that I've been working on, if you can see, are significantly smaller. So when I have something like the little period that goes above an I, or periods at the end of the sentence, that's where I have to be a little more careful to make sure that I don't accidentally lose that when I am pulling the big piece off. So I tend to do it in smaller clumps when I'm doing that. I've also been known to take a whole bunch of these little pieces out and stick them all over the back of my hand, and then take them off and put them on the sticky thing. Both work. I will say that dries out your hands quite badly. So if you want to do that, just be aware it's going to give you a little bit of a problem. So I am going to go ahead and unload my design here. And as you can see, it cut it beautifully. So it's hard to tell, but once I start pulling the actual background off, you'll be able to see it a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I will join you again when I am getting ready to add all these things to the binders that I am organizing with. So I will see you all again in a moment. All right, welcome back everybody. I am sitting on my couch because as you know, I hurt my back last weekend and it is still a little bit on the sore side. So I'm not on the floor like I usually would be to do this. I could be sitting at my table, but this is where I thought I'd be more comfortable. So these are my binders that I am going to be working on. I've already got them pretty well segmented out and things like that, but my problem is when I pick them up, I keep forgetting which color and which one is which and what's contained within them. So I went to my sticker stash and whatever else, and this one I decorated with a bunch of my butterfly stickers. So it says Fly to Fancy, and then down at the bottom it's got butterfly wishes. And basically this is my binder that has all of my dreams and aspirations, things that I want to do, that sort of thing. It also has all of my creative writing in the back, things like that. So that worked really well for this one. I didn't have anything in my sticker stash that felt like it would work for these other two. So as you saw, I cut out some vinyl. So this lighter one is the one that I have all of my YouTube stuff in. So I wanted to make sure that this one was graceful ease oriented. So I'm really excited with what I did there. I did also add, I don't know if we have any Lisa Frank plans, but there we go. I couldn't get it to focus. So these rabbits with the tutus that are ballerinas were my favorite growing up. I always felt like they were so elegant and whatever. I've got musical notes as well because I love dancing, I love frilly girly things, and I love music. So that was my initial way to tell this one apart from the others, and I love it. So this is kind of my childhood sort of thing, and then the front that I've done in vinyl is going to be a lot more sophisticated, that sort of individual. This one is more my planning binder. It has things in it like cheap meal ideas for, weeks that I need to do that, my cleaning charts, household projects I want to do, that sort of thing. So I have them all segmented out. I like what I have in them, but I needed a way to tell them apart. So we'll just dive right in here. This is this really pretty filigree outline that I chose for my YouTube one. And so when you work with vinyl, you cut it out and then you weed out the extras that you don't need. And then you varnish, which is basically just rubbing down the design against the transfer tape. And I just have a squeegee that one of my friends gave me. You can use credit cards, you can use the edge of your scissors, whatever it is. You just basically need it to stick to the tape. So then what you would do is kind of peel it up at an angle, if I can get it started. And if it doesn't stick to the transfer tape really well, you can always revarnish across that spot. But here's how it should work. You should be able to start picking it up. If you go slowly, you can kind of anchor down the pieces that didn't work ahead of time. When you have a really big piece of transfer tape like what I do here, you have to be really careful not to stick the tape to itself. So just go as slow as you need and peel it all up. And now that I've started, this is actually going a lot faster. And this one I'm going to do in 2 different color tones. And I'm really, really thrilled with it. So I can't wait to see it all on the binder. And this piece is kind of a holographic mood shimmer type thing, and I absolutely love it. So I'm very, very excited with it. I got 2 pieces there that were being a little stubborn, but you want to do this slowly so that you don't accidentally break one in half or something of that nature. If you rip it, then you're really going to hate life. Alright, so this piece is now garbage. It's just a shiny piece of paper, so you can use that for a few other crafting projects. I have some of this saved, but I don't keep everything. It doesn't work that way for me. So now I'm going to make sure that I have the correct binder, because that would be awful if I accidentally labeled the wrong one. And then you get it centered where you want it. This transfer tape is Cricut transfer tape, and it actually, I'll come over and show you. It actually has kind of grid lines in the tape, so it makes it easy for you to attach it well, as long as you get it on there straight to begin with. Which I don't always get it on straight, but it gives me enough that I'm able to adhere it the best I can. These binders are a little bit textured, so the vinyl is struggling to stick just a little bit, but even with that, this is going pretty quickly. So you always want to peel at an angle. It just makes your life easier. So we've got most of this down. And you can always revarnish if you need to. I tend to be a little lazy on the varnishing thing. There you go. Isn't that pretty? You can see the shimmer